I feel I'm a big fan of reform in general, in politics, but I don't see any room for reform in pretty much any country that I have any amount of knowledge in. Starting from my own country to Europe on a regional level, on a European level, and basically, I mean, this is like a very international community. Everyone I've talked to from different countries, no one, at least from my generation, is happy about the governance of their country.
And that's wrong. That's what I told you. That is what I meant before with we have to recalibrate what is the government, what is the role of government? What is the role and which political system do we want? There is a mismatch. If you look, parliamentary democracy, representative democracy, there were certain circumstances why this was created and why this was so forward looking at some time. A lot of those circumstances are not valid anymore. They're just not valid anymore. And we have to basically at least start with some countries and do a convent and talk about, okay, what is our future political system? Why is it that politics is always so late, governments are always so inefficient? This doesn't have to be. So that is actually next 20 to 30 years one of the main questions to be answered. And why? Because there's pressure. We spoke about Europe. In Europe, the pressure is clear on nation states, but you also have the pressure of more and more companies who have basically taken more and more the role which usually only a state had. If you look at the whole discussion about which data is known by whom, whether it's Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Alibaba, A&T Financial, whoever, behind this is also a question, hang on guys, you are going too far. You're getting so powerful, we don't like this as a state. But they have this power right now. And there is and frankly, if you would have had the chance as a population to mandate someone to organize the logistics for vaccination, with all what I like or don't like, I would have said, Jeff Bezos, that's for you. Please, can we get 100 of your sharpest guys? We have a challenge in the world. 8 billion people need to be vaccinated. How can we get them vaccinated? I give you 8 months, develop a system.
They would do it in 6 months.
So, and the system would work, bam, like this. You see the situation, especially in Europe. I mean, it's appalling. Yeah. It's just appalling to see. That is and it was never clearer. Why do I come with this example? You know, very often it's always about priorities. It was never clearer than in the last 40 months, what is the priority of governments? We need to quickly get back to some normal life because every aspect of society is suffering. Economically, socially, psychologically, physically. Very simple. It was very clear what the priority is. They didn't manage it. They had 1 year.
And this was only a fire drill, basically, for the challenges that are coming in the next 2 decades.
Hopefully, the only good thing there, Roham, is hopefully people have seen this. Hopefully there are some self-critical politicians who say, look, we have to learn from that. This cannot be. We should be better. And the next pandemic will come and we should really learn from this and not anymore have these type of amateurish behaviors, which are basically purely driven by ego. Governments felt, oh, we are really needed, so let's keep everything in our hand. No, it would have been time to create alliances and say, who can be with you? How can you do something? We knew one day there will be a vaccination, even if it would have been taking 2 years. No problem, but be ready. So You spoke about like existential crisis of the EU. I would say we have a like crisis of governance and governments, um, and the question, underlying question, how do we want to be governed in the future, and how should we be governed in order to achieve what a government is for, to basically ease life of citizens and protect their rights.
No, what really worries me in that is that if our politicians don't wake up to do that, some crazy guy, not gonna necessarily insult Karl Marx, but I'm not a big fan of his. Someone like that comes along and creates a new ideology, and that just leads to even more chaos and even more trouble. That I don't see that as being a good thing, but I see that as going as the direction that we're going towards, given that everyone has a voice now.
Look, I mean, we have seen a couple of experiments, and so far there has been always a bounce back. That at some point, as Abraham Lincoln said, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. And we have seen this in front of us. And we have seen how there have been political leaders, and some have been voted out again. So there is a mechanism that people at some point realize, okay, stop, this doesn't work. There is clearly an open question and a danger how governments will deal with the data question, and who will own which data and how confidential will it be. I mean, you see what is happening in some countries, and where this has become basically a scenario which, I mean, even George Orwell would not have dreamt of.
He would be having a heart attack every day in
yeah,
this world. Yeah,
it's so that will be a little bit a race, whether governments are quicker
or private,
or private citizens will stand up and say, stop. I mean, we need to define some borders. And even if you are the state, no way, you can't go in there.